know me. Today's video, as y'all can see by the title, I'm gonna be doing a story time. Coronavirus! Anyways, like I was saying, and y'all, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by my 2-year-old son, this is gonna be a story time of how I found out that I was pregnant. So let's get into it. Hey guys, so I found out that I was pregnant February 13, 2017. My menstrual cycle is very irregular, you guys. So, you know, I didn't think I was pregnant. The only reason why I even took a pregnancy test in the first place was because, you know, I was just curious. Like, I didn't really think I was pregnant because I didn't have any pregnancy symptoms, but I still decided to take a pregnancy test because my friend Yamilet, y'all should know her by now, we had went out to the movie to watch the movie 50 Shades of Grey. We had went to watch it on February 13th. Was it February 13th? No, I believe it was like a week before, like the very first week of February. And I was telling her, hey girl, you know, my breasts have been really like sore and stuff. I was like, I don't think I'm pregnant though, because that usually happens before my menstrual cycle is gonna come. So she was like, no girl, oh my god, you're pregnant. I was like, hell no, like no, I'm not pregnant. Like no, I'm not. Like I was so in denial. I was like, there's no way. I was like, my period's been late for 2 weeks. I'm like, but since mine is very irregular, I didn't really think much of it. I was like, there's no way. So a week goes by and I go to the store and I buy a 79-cent pregnancy test. And I don't know why some females say those are not accurate because they're very cheap, but they work. Trust me, they work. But yeah, I went to buy a pregnancy test, and in my old house we had 2 restrooms. We had one upstairs and one downstairs, and obviously I went to take the pregnancy test in the one downstairs because my parents were upstairs. So the only people that were downstairs were my brother and my sister. And I got the pregnancy test, the one where you know you have to pee in a cup and get the little syringe thing and put a drop of your urine in the little hole. So that's what I did, and it said I had to wait for 2 minutes, but it didn't even take 2 minutes. As soon as I put the 3 drops of my urine in the pregnancy test, it automatically showed up like 2 lines. And I did not know what to do, you guys. Like, I was excited but nervous at the same time because, for one, I was 17 going on 18, but I still didn't even have my life figured out. Like, you know, me and my boyfriend, we didn't have no house together. We didn't have no car. We didn't have, you know, any of that before having a baby. So I was panicking. I was like, how are we gonna do it? Like, am I gonna move in with him, or he's gonna come move in with me? Is he gonna come see the baby? Am I gonna have to go over there? Like, there was so many things going through my head. But the most important one that was going through my head was that my dad was gonna kill me. Like, I wasn't really worried about my mom. I knew she was gonna be upset, but I was more worried about my dad. And whenever I ended up telling my mom, she's like, you know, she started crying. She's like, how could you do this to me? She's like, how come you didn't, you know, take care of yourself? How come you didn't use protection? She's like, you could have prevented this. She's like, I don't really care. Like, well, she cared, obviously. So let me not say that. Let me rephrase it. She's like, she cared obviously, but she was more so worried about what my dad was going to say, how he was going to react. So she was like, you know, you're going to have to tell him today. And I was like, can we just wait until tomorrow or something? She's like, no, I want you to tell him today. She's like, you're gonna have to tell him today. And I was like, I don't know how the heck I'm gonna tell him. Like, I'm scared of my dad. Like, I did not know how to freaking tell him. So I was like, can you tell him? So she was like, of course. She's like, obviously I'm gonna have to tell him. So obviously he was at work. And I ended up going to the gym. My mom really didn't want me to go to the gym because she's like, what if you get hurt and something happens to the baby? She's like, I want you to stay home because, you know, what if you fall or something? And I'm just like, I'm gonna be okay. And she was like, all right, fine, you can go. She was like, but just know when your dad gets home, I'm gonna tell him. So I was just like, okay, that's fine. I was like, as long as I don't have to tell him, it's okay, because I was scared of my dad. But, you know, whenever I got back, whenever I went to the gym, all I was thinking about was my dad, how he was gonna react, you know, if he was gonna smack me, any of that. Like, I was just thinking about stuff like that. I was like, you know, I was crying. But, you know, when I got home, I walked in, my dad was sitting in the living room with my mom. And I was just like, okay, she didn't tell him, because when I walked in, he didn't say not one thing. He even walked past me. Like, he was going downstairs to take a shower, and he didn't say like not one word to me. So I just stood right there by the stairs, because I'm like, you know, I'm gonna wait for him to say what he gotta say to me. But no, he just like walked past me and didn't say nothing. So I went to my sister. I was in the room with my sister. And I was like, what did he say? Like, did my mom tell him? And then she's like, yeah, she told him, but he didn't say nothing. She's like, all he said was that he knew that she was gonna say that you were pregnant, because she was crying, and she was like, I have to tell you something. And she's like, he automatically knew. She's like, so my mom really didn't have to tell him anything. He already knew. So I was just like, so how come he's not saying anything to me? And then she was just like, I don't know, but she did tell him. So one day passed, and then 2 days passed, he wasn't talking to me. And then on the third day, he finally freaking talked to me. And obviously he was crying, and I was crying, because I was just like, damn, I fucked up. But, you know, there was no going back now, because we do not do that abortion stuff. Like, no, that's a no. But he was like, I can't believe, you know, that he was technically saying the same thing that my mom said. He's like, I can't believe you didn't take care of yourself. He was like, have you ever heard of the morning after pill? And I'm just like, you know, I was just like, no, you know, I didn't think about that, because I was dumb. But, you know, so he was a little upset. And then he was like, there's no going back now. He's like, you got to do what you got to do now. He was like, no te voy a aplaudir, which means, you know, I'm not going to clap for you because you didn't do something good. He's like, but, you know, I'm going to support, me and your mom are going to support you the whole way there, like, no matter what. So I was just like, okay, you know. So after that, a few months passed, you know, he was still being a little salty about it. He would make like some slick comments that I didn't like, you know, that would make me feel bad. And the thing was that he would say those comments in front of other people and make me look bad. Like, so that's the thing that I didn't like about my dad. But it's because he was hurt, so, you know, I kind of understand why he did it. But you know, a few months after that, when I believe when I was like 4 months pregnant, he finally got over it. And he was so freaking excited after that, you know, to have his first grandchild. So we went to Walmart one day, and he even like bought the baby like a whole bunch of baby clothes. Like, he was so excited. He's like, oh my God, look at this one. I like this one. I'm gonna buy you this. I'm gonna buy you that. So he ended up buying a few outfits for the baby. And he was really excited, as well as my mom. Like, they were both so freaking excited to have their first grandchild. And then come September, they got locked up. Obviously I didn't know that, but they got locked up. I was due October 14th. They got locked up in September, which was September 24th, 2017, which was, it was technically Sunday because it was like midnight, madrugada, whenever they got pulled over and they put them in the system. It was 4 in the morning when my brother called me. He's like, sister, mom, dad got locked up. I don't know what to do. Can you come? And I could not sleep after that. Mind you, I was 8 months pregnant. So I was panicking. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I wasn't really worried about them not being able to be there with me whenever I gave birth, because my due date was not until October 14th. So, I was just like, okay, we're going to get them out of this. We're going to get them home. And, that's it. Like, everything's going to be okay. But the next morning when I finally, saw their name in the system, they were placed on immigration hold. And obviously that made me feel horrible, you guys. Like, but anyways, long story short, I did feel very, very bad because I was like, they're gonna take our parents away from us, and they're not gonna be able to be there when I give birth, and they're not gonna be able to see their grandson, to hold him, to kiss him, So obviously I was very upset. And then Monday comes by and nothing. They're obviously not gonna let them out anytime soon. And on that Monday, around 1 a.m. my water broke, but only because that night I was so stressed because I was trying to figure out how I was going to get to the lawyer's office to hire a lawyer so that they could help me get my parents out. So I was very stressed out because I didn't know who was going to take me, how I was going to do it. And I was just crying because I'm like, I want my parents to be out. Like, we need them. Like, me and my siblings need them. So I was crying, and then I tried to lay down, but then I started feeling like a lower back pain. Like, at first it wasn't really that hurtful, but obviously it started getting worse. And then I felt like I had to use the restroom, so I got up, and as soon as I got up, like, I just felt like a whole bunch of water like coming out. Like, I thought maybe I peed on myself. Like, I was like, oh my God, did I really just pee on myself? But no, you guys, my water had broke. And as soon as I saw that happen, I called my cousin's wife and I was like, hey, Crystal, I think my water broke. And she was like, oh my God, are you sure? And I was like, no, I'm not sure, but I was like, I'm gonna go to the restroom. So I went to the restroom, and when I wiped, obviously I saw some like light pink blood. So she was like, no, your water did break. She's like, we need to go to the hospital. She's like, call me in like an hour. She's like, and I'll meet you up there. So I was like, okay, but I don't want to do this without my parents. I was like, they were supposed to be there. And when I tell you guys that was the hardest thing for me, it was the hardest. Like, I still remember it like it was yesterday, because both my parents were very freaking excited to meet their first grandchild. So for them not to be able to, be there with me during the birth of my son, that hit me really hard. I was like, I don't want to have the baby without them being there. And she was like, well, if the baby wants to come now, there's nothing you can do. You can't keep him in there. If he wants to come out, he's going to come out. And I'm sorry, guys, and she was like, it's time. She's like, even if your mom and dad are not gonna be there, it's time. But anyways, you guys, long story short, they weren't able to be there. It was very upsetting for me because that was their first grandchild, and now my dad is not here. I'm very happy that my mom is. She, you know, loves my son to death. Like, she loves him so much, just as much as he loves her. But I really wish my dad would have had that chance to be here too, you know, to be able to share the moments that he shares with my mom. But anyways, you guys, if y'all would like to see, or, you know, for me to make a video, a story time of how everything went after my birth, please do not hesitate to let me know, and I will make that video for you guys. So thanks for watching. This is it for this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new to my channel. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.